What's going on, guys? It's William, and I just got some inside information on what banks are seeing currently on their books about the upcoming mortgage crisis. So with that being said, let's dive into it.
Welcome to the smack fest, the beat down. The SWAT team is here on another beautiful day of shutting the week down.
What's going on, guys? This is William Dauria, and for just meeting for the very first time, consider subscribing and liking and sharing this content because I upload several times per week, and it's all about you becoming financially free. My portfolio consists of single family, multifamily, and commercial units, and once I discovered real estate, I realized how fast you can scale back your retirement so you can start living the life that you love sooner than later. Okay, so I just got off the phone with the banks just the other day, and they gave me a startling revelation. They literally told me what they believe is going to happen in 2021. Both banks told me the same thing, and they were separate banks. They did not even talk to each other. So I actually took this information and I confirmed it with a completely other source, and they told me the same thing, which is insane. You would not believe what they said to me. I asked them this. I called and said, before I got off the phone with them, I asked them, I said, hey, how many people that you currently have right now loans with, it's a very big mortgage lender, it's actually the one that I have right now on my personal property, how many people are in forbearance right now? And I was thinking they would tell me maybe, 10%, maybe 15%, give or take. And they said, well, sir, we can't tell you that. That's inside information. Okay, and I restructured the question a little bit. I said, okay, you can't tell me numbers. Okay, so how much percentage of people that have loans with you are in forbearance? And at that point, she kind of hem-hawed a little bit, and then she's like, okay, yeah, I guess I can divulge that information. I was like, sweet, right? 80% of people that have loans with this company are in forbearance. 80%. My jaw hit the desk. I was like, if this is true between other banks and other lenders as well, 2021 is going to be so much worse as far as the mortgage crisis goes. We already know 2020 is a dumpster fire. So much worse than we anticipated for the mortgage industry in 2021. So I called another bank and I asked them the same question. I had a reason to call them. I wasn't just a random person, just kind of shuffling some information out of them. But before I got off the phone with them, I asked them the same thing. They confirmed, without me telling them, they confirmed with me what the other banker was telling me as well. They said 2021 is going to be a historic mortgage crisis that we have not seen before unless the federal government steps in and changes the structures of the loans, keeping people in the houses that they currently have forbearance under. There's going to be a crisis that we have not seen before. However, that does bring an opportunity for investors, because even though 80% made my jaw hit the floor, what the banker said next was even more surprising. I had to think about that for a second because I have to be empathetic towards the people that are losing their houses. Because just because I get a good deal on a house from a bank doesn't mean that it's all flowers and gravy for everybody. Somebody probably lost their house due to them not being able to pay and probably got the boot. So I am empathetic to people that have lost their houses. But the bank also told me this. They said that once all this comes to them, like literally all these loans are defaulting and their books are just piling up with bad loans, this is what they're going to do to investors. They are going to sell their properties at as little as 40 cents on the dollar. Let me translate that a little bit. That is 60% off. So if we rewind a little bit to 2008, people that were buying the homes in 2008, 2009, and they got really good deals, say they're buying a house for $150,000, fast forward 10 years, they could be worth up to double what they were worth in 2008, 2009, at least in my area here in North Texas. So what's happened in 2008, 2009 to generate wealth is about to happen all over again. And the crazy thing is we basically are looking into a crystal ball. We know when it's coming. We know how many people are going to be in forbearance. We know our purchase price. I'm like, as a real estate investor, this is a paramount opportunity to reach into the market and grab deals that are just absolutely unheard of. And we even have time to prep the funds that we're going to need to be doing this at a particular time. Like, if you're a real estate investor, if you're thinking about becoming a real estate investor right now, like literally as I'm filming, is the best time to start the process so you are ready when the iron is hot. Right now in the real estate market, we are being artificially propped up with prices. Now, what this means is there is a supply and demand issue. It isn't that real estate prices are just going up because the market's pushing that way. It's because there is a supply and demand issue. When there is less inventory, the prices are higher. When the market is flooded, however, it will be just the opposite as 2020. It's going to be a flip-flop, basically. 2020, prices skyrocketed. Then the market got flooded with way more properties than anybody can imagine. The supply and demand works the opposite as well. What's going to happen at that point is prices are going to deflate. Now, and to what point? We don't know. However, when banks are already telling me and telling others that they're selling their properties, these REO properties, you can reach out to banks and ask for their REO department to get a copy of their foreclosure list. Rewind that, make sure you get that because, oh, that's my cat. Her name is Pink, but she's really black. It's okay. Anyways, rewind so you understand that so you can be on the list and you can strike while the iron is hot. So 2021 is going to be a crazy year for investors to get in and get a great deal that is going to boost their portfolio by dividends. Now, I'm going to warn you about something that a lot of new investors especially do not understand. And this is a little like a chicken before the egg kind of problem. When inventory is boosted, when foreclosures are pouring in and inventory is boosted, and the prices are dirt cheap, it's because the banks are offloading these as fast as they can. Because think about it. When a bank has, say this is a property, when the bank has a property, they're still having to pay the lawn care. They're still having to keep up the maintenance. They want to get these things off the book. They just want to be done with the loan. They want to take their potential loss, possibly not, their potential loss on this and move on. There's bigger, better things to do. And the longer they keep this on the books, the more money it's costing them. But lenders, because they're getting rid of things, they also are tightening the reins when it comes to lending you money on properties, even their properties or other properties priced well under book because they know that the market is garbage. Therefore, Fannie and Freddie Mac, the big mortgage loan buyers, are also tightening their reins because they don't want to put out a bunch of money when there's already a giant mortgage crisis. So it's like the prices are cheap, but you can't get a loan kind of problem. You see what I'm saying? Like you need to buy, and you do. However, the banks aren't giving. So you're really going to have to get into creative financing. You're going to need to go out. You need to talk to many more lenders than you're normally used to talking to be able to find somebody that will be able to work with you. For instance, I just did an appraisal on one of my rental properties. This year, it appraised for, this isn't a typo, $1,000 more than it did last year. Only because I was super good with getting them comps and everything, showing that values went up. So they gave me $1,000 more in appreciation value. Basically, they were saying, yeah, we're not going to loan you any more than what you got in the previous years because we foresee this going downward. So whatever we're about to give you, we know it's going to start backtracking in value here pretty soon. So we're going to hold fast basically on what you already got last year because they couldn't tell me that values were going down. Like I said, we're being artificially inflated right now. So they couldn't show me the values that were going down, but they know why the values are high and they know that it's not going to stay like that for long. So whatever they're going to give me now on a cash out refi, the value of that property in 2021, for instance, is most likely going to be significantly less than what we're seeing here now. And we all know that. So they're being super cautious and I'm already seeing them do that now. So the decline and the rescinding the funds has already started on the back end. Pink, you are a star today. Please get off my desk. Go. Pink, please. Okay, I may or may not cut that out. So back to where we're at. And the last two things I want to go over, if you are a current homeowner right now, do not panic. If you listen to Dave Ramsey at all, like I dibble-dabble between Dave Ramsey and Robert Kiyosaki. I know they clash heads a lot, but I do listen to both of them because I like their personality, especially Dave Ramsey, but I side more on the Robert Kiyosaki side, which is basically, I'm more of an investor, use debt to make money, and he's more of a do all cash. But he says, Dave Ramsey says, right now, do not panic sell, because the market will always come back, and it will. Look at the cycles, guys. If you go back to 2000, there was a crash. And then you fast forward to 2008 and 9, that's about 10 years, there was another crash. And then you fast forward again at about another 10 years here in 2020, 2021, give or take, about a decade, there will be another crash. And the market will dip hard, really hard. It's basically like the bull climbs the stairs, the bear falls out the window. It's basically a stock market term where the prices do this, they climb, they climb, they climb, they climb, they climb, they get to their peak, and then they don't go down the same way. They go straight down, and they go down hard. So basically what I'm saying is, if you're a homeowner now, and you're freaking out, and you want to sell because you want to cash out, think about it like this. Whatever you cash out with right now, you're going to be rebuying in the same hot market that you're selling in. So if you get a lot of money for your house right now, so unless you're going to be living in a hole, or you will actually move back into your parents' house and sit on a fat pile of cash until the market crashes here in the next 12 months, 18 months, it's not a good idea. So if you're not going to be doing that and you're going to be selling your house and cashing out to buy something else, I do not recommend it. That is my opinion. I do not recommend doing that because you're getting a lot for your house and then you're going to overpay for the next one. It kind of doesn't really make sense. It's basically like what Bigger Pockets talks about timing the market. It's just not really smart to try to time the market because realistically, unless you're going to be sitting on the fat pile of cash and living in a hole, you're probably not going to get a much better place, and you definitely won't have any equity in it because you already overpaid for it. You paid market value for it in 2020, and then 2021 tanked, for instance, and now you're under where you would have been just fine where you sit. I know that was a mouthful, but I wanted to get that point across because I have a friend that just sold his house, and he's doing something that I think is going to be a mistake. So I want to warn others, do not panic sell. If you weren't already going to sell, don't do it. Wait the market out. Last point. My opinion and what I am doing is different than what other people may or may not be doing in the market. So I'm not telling you how to invest, but what I'm doing right now is I'm working on doing a cash out refi on my portfolio. I'm going to sit on cash because I don't need to buy anything. And this is my plan, at least. It's a several month plan. I have a lot of properties and I'm going to sit on it. And then I'm going to be in contact with the banks on where they are with their foreclosures. And then once properties start flooding their books, they reach around 50%, 40%, somewhere around then, as far as their selling cost per dollar, like 40 cents on the dollar, 50 cents on the dollar. That's when I'm going to buy, because fast forward from then a few years, you're going to realize all those gains. And then at that point, I will do another cash out refi, recycling and pulling all of my profits out, and we'll buy more houses with the free appreciation money that I just earned. And that is how wealth is built and generated. And if you do it by buying real estate rental properties for passive income, can create generational wealth. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end, I know this was a lot longer than I anticipated, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one.